Hello folks, Crazy Camper here once again to do the week review on episode 8, season 2 of Alone. I'll say it once again, I am by no means a survival expert. I just like to watch the show, I like to camp, so please keep the comments coming and the discussion will continue. Please subscribe to me right up here, Crazy Camper, that's the channel, and my other channel where I do camping documentaries is Ontario Parks. So let's get into our discussion. I first want to talk about Kate. Remember Mary Kate who hit her hand with the axe? Sam Larson, who finished second on season 2, on his YouTube page, he Skyped Kate or some sort of computer program, I don't know, but he interviewed her for about an hour and just discussing things, and well, I wanted to see how her hand was. So she said that she was rushed out to a doctor, one of the best hand surgeons in the world actually, and they repaired it as best they could, but she can't lift her thumb up past her hand like her other fingers. But she has full movement to go down, so she can use it to grab stuff, but she can't lift it. So she did nick the tendon or ligaments, whatever's in there. But she's doing good, in high spirits. Has a big scar there, but yeah, she was pretty upset that she had to leave. She said she had a lot to give and she really didn't want to go that early. She also said even after she hit herself, she wanted to stay. She was hoping they could just stitch her up and she could keep going, but the doctor said, no, you gotta get to the hospital to get that fixed because there's no use of the thumb. So yeah, she had to leave no matter what. There was no way around it. And on to another topic. Let's talk a little bit about Mike. So yeah, Mike left, and I have him on Facebook, as I said before. I was talking to him on the messaging before, but I was just watching his page throughout the week, and he was posting some things. And he had said that when he got there, he missed Barbara so much he was actually sick. So that's how much he missed her. And then he said at day 7, he had decided he was going to leave on day 21 if he completed all his projects. And he got all his projects done, and he just left. But so that, I'm not surprised that he says that now, because the way his shelter was, he wasn't going to be ready for the winter. It wasn't enclosed, it was way open, so yeah, he was going to leave. And I want to see what he could do, but he also said he didn't risk his health. If you're going to go with starvation out there and really tax your organs and your everything, muscle, skeletal system, like that could take some years off your life if you went to extreme starvation and the doctor said to pull you or something like that, which we never even saw. Doctors haven't pulled anyone besides, well, I guess Kate with her hand, but not for starvation. Other thoughts? Oh yeah, Mike is living in an RV right now full time with Barbara, and they're driving around and he's teaching survival instruction. Looks like his rates are pretty good. He says something like $75 a day on his page, but I think that's just for like one person, so if you have like a family it's going to be a little more, or a big group. But looks like he accepts anyone on Facebook, so you could add him if you want. And let's talk about the weather, because Island Boy previously had looked up the weather and decided it started on September 26th based on when that first storm came. I think it was around day 11 or 12. But I took a peek at the weather on the ground. I'll link it below, along with Kate's video too. And there's going to get more stormier towards the end of October. So they're getting towards the end of October now, and there's another big storm coming, and then a really big one comes around November 8th or 9th. So the second week of November, and that one has winds over 100k gusting, which they haven't seen yet. So see how they're surviving that. But I guess we'll get on to the rankings. Number 5, David. Number 4, Justin. Number 3, Larry. Number 2, Jose. And number 1, I never thought I'd be saying this, but I put Nicole in there. I'll tell you why when we get to her. But let's talk about David in number 5. I love his philosophical talk. He was talking about having a lightsaber. He's keeping himself entertained out there. But yeah, a lightsaber would be pretty cool out there. You could cut logs, you could hunt bears, you could start fires, and so that would be an awesome item out of the 10 to take. But he's still complaining about food. He's obviously not eating much. He's losing weight. His gill net gets destroyed, which was his main food source, I guess. But I loved how he soldiered on and fixed it. So I'm impressed that he did that instead of giving up. And now he's working hard tying off these big, heavy logs that are coming ashore that could, yeah, he's right, it could easily rip his net. So he's spending a lot of calories there. Too bad he doesn't have that lightsaber where he could process those logs and use them for a shelter or something. But yeah, he has to start eating soon or he's going to be leaving. And they're showing him a lot on these episodes, so I think he might be gone soon. But moving on to number 4, Justin. Well, I'm surprised about him for a few reasons. Number 1, he actually made it to the top of that mountain. That's 1,300 feet, and you could see how dense that forest was with the rocks, slippery rocks. And he risked so much injury there. Not only injury, but that's life-threatening. Because if he fell down there and broke something, he can't move, how are they going to rescue him? That would have been a long rescue effort, and you're also risking the lives of the rescuers. So I think it was pretty stupid that he did that. But his view was actually pretty amazing. He lucked out with the weather. He also burned a lot of calories doing that. He could have burned a few thousand calories doing that hike. And then he got back. We didn't see how he slept day 22 into 23. I assume he went into the same shelter that was flooded, but he was on his hammock anyway, so he could slip in there. But what if the weather was horrible when he got back? Would he have just called it quits? Because he was talking about it on the way up. This might be my last day. But he said he's recharged and he wants to keep going. And again, I'm impressed how he relocated a shelter. He set up his hammock. But that hammock could be out there actively fishing. So what's he been eating? But although he still looks pretty healthy, I haven't even noticed any weight loss in his face, and he still looks pretty thick. And then I just don't like how he's taking these risks though, and this whole thing about working out. Next episode we see him lifting rocks or something for a workout. So different approach than anyone we've ever seen on the show. So we'll see what he does next, but I just don't see him lasting with that attitude still. Number 3, we have Larry. But we never saw him this episode, but we do know he moved a spot, and I bet he's catching fish because it looked pretty good there, and we knew he knew how to use the lines and the gill net in his old spot, but that old spot really sucked. So hopefully he's getting better food because he's lost a lot of weight compared to the other competitors. I can notice his face is starting to look pretty thin from what we saw before, and he even admitted that his belt is going in more holes. So we'll see how he does, but I don't think he gets eliminated soon because they didn't show him on this episode. So they usually show the guys when they get eliminated, right? And moving on to number 2, I have to put Jose there. So he's built his canoe. I'm very impressed by how he worked away on that canoe, but we haven't seen a capsize it yet. I know he must do it close to shore because we can see that, so I assume he's going to survive that just fine. That might deter him though from going back out in it. And would it even function though? Looked pretty wobbly to even get out to where the salmon are. He might be better off in a better spot if he's not catching fish. I don't know. But we don't even know what he's eating either. So hopefully he stays around a while. He was in number 1 for a while. So I want to see what happens later on. But moving on to Nicole, number 1. I never thought I'd be saying her number 1 because she was so lean to begin with, and her health history with MS. I thought those were 2 big red flags that would have her out. I thought she'd be out after her food rations ran out, which would probably be like day 10. So now she's in the 20s, and she's having so much food, catching those salmon, that she can't even eat it all. So I wonder if, can you fillet it and dry it out and like smoke it like a jerky and preserve it? Because she even let that one fish go. Although she hiked up the river, which I thought she'd be doing all alone to catch the salmon that are spawning and get past her net. But that one looked pretty lean, that one salmon. So I don't know if it was really good to eat. You can tell when their mouth starts getting all open and hook shaped, they hardly have any fat left on them. It's all protein, and they go into starvation and die because they spawn and they die. So you can only eat them to a certain point. But the ones she's catching in her net, they're coming straight in, and they're still super healthy. So yes, the salmon will last into late October out there. I think November they're pretty much done. So yeah, the bears too. Those bears are getting pretty close. I'm surprised they haven't bugged her at night, especially with all that cooking she's doing in her tent. So that's pretty surprising. But we'll see how it all unfolds. Oh yeah, Island Boy talked about her homestead. She is lucking out with that spot huge. And she got the wild edibles there. I never even knew that one bigger leaf plant was edible. I see it growing here in Ontario, so I might even give that a shot to eat one day. I'll eat a little bit to make sure I don't get sick, but I'll look that up. But yeah, please like and subscribe and keep the comments coming, and we'll see how it goes. Bye-bye.